This is one of the best Bionicle Dragon creations that came out of 2023. The building techniques on this are electric. The overall design is just stunning. So let's take a closer look at all the incredible work that was packed into this extraordinary LEGO build, shall we? This LEGO creation was built by Matt Goldberg, and his MOC is titled Drathax the Covetous. So I think the shaping on this MOC is just phenomenal. The way that all the pieces seamlessly transition from one into the other creates the most gorgeous and compact design. This back leg here is easily my favorite area of the dragon. So it's using a Ben 10 torso piece to form, I guess, the main shape of this area of the upper leg. And then on the side, we can see this blue Carapace armor piece, which appeared on an old Power Miners set, this one specifically. And then resting neatly above this piece is a Surge mask, and then down below we have a 2.0 Hero Factory head in blue. Now isn't it just stunning how these totally random pieces from different sets and different LEGO themes, all of them fit together in such a seamless fashion? It's as if they were made specifically for this purpose. You know, a design like this makes this MOC seem so much more realistic. The way these pieces blend together, it looks a lot more like the proportions and anatomy that you would see on a real life animal. Now I know dragons aren't real, but there's something so satisfying about seeing designs that mimic the anatomy of other living creatures. It just breathes so much life into this LEGO creation, and it makes something like a make-believe dragon suddenly feel like it could fit in the real world. Plus, I think seeing LEGO pieces start to come together to form such smooth, organic shapes, well, it's almost mind-blowing. You know, it's rare to see LEGO look so rounded since it's always so blocky. That's just the nature of LEGO bricks, that's how they look. But not the way that Matt's done it. Yeah, Matt really knocked it out of the ballpark in this area. Now, the awesome anatomy continues everywhere on this beast, but it's also great to see some areas that transition into dragon scales. So the scales themselves are just blue and black flippers that have appeared on all sorts of different scuba diver figures across multiple years of LEGO sets. Now on the neck here, it appears that the flippers are clipped onto one of these very helpful pieces. There seems to be a bunch of these across the entire neck area, and the flippers are simply clipped on with the use of some of these clip pieces. So yeah, there's all these different segments using those octagonal pieces, and they appear to be linked together with a Technic axle of some kind. When you break it down, it's a surprisingly simple construction, but man, it's incredibly elegant and a very effective design. So the MOC itself was built around the idea of greed, and given all the treasure on the floor and this stunning golden base, it's pretty obvious. But I think the best detail that conveys greed is the fact that the dragon is wearing a crown. So that specific crown is using this piece here that appeared on King Matthias, which was a classic Knights Kingdom LEGO set from back in the day. But Matt has decided to deck out the crown a little bit more with all kinds of other great additions, like swords and horns and all sorts of different stuff to give it a lot more ornamentation. Not only does this help it kind of fit in with the scale, but also just the grandiose nature of it having all sorts added onto it. It just fits so in line with the idea of greed, doesn't it? It's nice to see how much these additional details add to this creation, not just from an aesthetic point of view, but also from a little bit more of a symbolic point of view. And hey, while we're talking about the head design, Matt used a red Ninjago snake for the tongue. Now, not only is this a great part use because the S shape of this piece, it represents a beast's tongue perfectly, but the fact that it's actually a snake, well, that just fits right in line with the fact that this is a mean and greedy dragon. It's always nice when a clever part use works on multiple levels. So this blue dragon head piece, it of course came on the beloved Hero Factory set Dragon Bolt. The headpiece had that gap at the back area because it allowed the brain slug to rest neatly into that area so that the dragon was possessed by the brain slug. But I guess the issue with that is if you want to use this dragon headpiece, you're going to have that weird gap at the back. Well, it's nice to see that Matt has tackled this problem by covering this area up with a blue Nuva shoulder, but then also adding a few additional pieces like those blue Borok weapons on the side. It beefs up the head design a little bit more and allows it to fit within the scale of the dragon's body. There's certainly a lot going on this head design, but man, it looks so awesome. Oh yeah, and then Matt also added some lights to the eyes of the dragon. This was visible at Brick Fair Virginia earlier this year, and so it was great to see it in action. Lighting always makes a MOC look so much cooler. Oh, and we can't forget to talk about these wings. They're just remarkable. The brown cloth pieces here, they appeared in a Lord of the Rings set, this one specifically, and it's nice because in the set itself you got that same style of cloth piece, but it came in a few varying sizes, and Matt's taken full advantage of that and used it to create a kind of staggered wing design, and it just looks marvelous. So we'll finish up with a few more images showcasing the incredible shaping that is evident on every inch of this dragon. It's a real treasure seeing something so well built like this. So that's Matt's phenomenal dragon mock. It's easily one of his best builds in my opinion. I'll have links to Matt's social media in the description below. Be sure to check out some of his other incredible work. He's made all sorts of good stuff. And hey, maybe you could leave a like or a comment on some of his builds and let him know some of your thoughts on what you think about his great stuff. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Happy building, and bye for now.